Welcome back to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and we're going over the latest release of Wizkids Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing, which is a miniature game with pre-painted figures. You build an army, battle it out with your opponent over scenarios, or just kick the crap out of each other. That's based off of Wizards of the Coast Dungeons & Dragons line. Wave 6 has had 3 releases. Most of the waves have had 3 releases. White Dragon's the last one that we're going to be going over. There's also a dwarf figure and a water cultist. So far, the dwarf and water cultist, interesting, kind of change up the games a little bit. What's interesting about the white dragon is there was previously a white dragon that came out as part of the organized play. So we're, of course, going to look at how the two compare and go from there. So let's open it up and see how it goes. Now, this is just straight up white dragon. The other white dragon is known as Argiratrice. Pretty beefy figure, but it is an ancient white dragon. I'd imagine this one's going to be a younger white dragon. That will be probably the difference between the two figures. First up, actually take the figure out. I don't think there's really any difference that I see between the two. If I remember right, I was just dumb and didn't bring my white dragon out over here. It's far away, so I don't really feel like leaving the camera running and going to get it. I don't really think there's a difference between the two. I like the white dragon. I think it was a cool sculpt. It's some nice shading, some dry brushing. You know, the painting's decent. And it's kind of a cool pose, or at least a cool sculpt. The wings, I think, should be bent maybe a little bit lower, but not bad. Cool figure. So it's got that going for it. But the big is, what does the figure come with? Oh, we got another like weird plastic taped up all crazy like for whatever reason. First, we've got the tokens, a whole bunch of timers, stuff that you normally expect, movements. None of that's really shocking at all. And we've got its base. We've got Blade Ward, Witch Bolt, and Frozen. Frozen's not really a shocker. I'd expect that from the White Dragon. And pulling the figures out. No scenario off of this one either, so maybe there is only a scenario in the dwarf pack and they didn't do scenarios for the dragon or the human cultists. Or I got jacked on 2 different packages. We'll find out. We're going to have to ask some other folks. So let's compare. This one is known as Nidhogrim. It's an adult white dragon, not a ancient white dragon like the other one. Comparatively, it is for movement. That's the movement in flight. A difference between this and the other white dragon, there's a lot more white movement on this. The ancient white dragon doesn't do well with turns. A lot of those are red. This one's a little bit slower. It stresses going forward 5. This one also can't go forward 1, while the ancient it can. So the ancient one's a little bit slower than this one. It's interesting that this can't go 1 forward. And then on the ground, it is the same. Yeah, on the ground they're at least the same. In the air, they're much different. So definitely 2 different types of gameplay for them as far as movement. The range attacks, are 2 forward. This one can't attack back as much. The other white dragon is 2 forward and 3 back. This one's 2 and 2. Attack-wise or stats-wise, it's 4 attack, 1 defense, 4 life, and 1 shield. The other one, or the higher one at 35 points, is the same except 5 health. And comparative to the other white dragon, so the other one from the OP is 36 points for the low one. This one's 30 points, and 48 points for the named one. This is only 35 points. The other named one has 1 more slot for the dragon upgrades. They'll levels are a little bit lower too. The lower one's level 6, this is level 5, and the adult is level 13, or the named one's level 13, and this one's level 8. So these are a little bit weaker. They do have defense, unlike the other one. And they don't have nearly as many lives, and they definitely don't have less shields. The ability is each time Nidhogimrim, whatever, makes a bite attack, he may convert one eye token, whatever you want to call it, concentrate result, into a hit result instead. So you're kind of getting a built-in concentrate, which is kind of cool, considering he can't use concentrate as far as one of his abilities. So not bad, an interesting ability for this figure at much, much lower points than the ancient version that's out there. There's a lot of dragons that will be coming out that of previous dragons that have been released, so expect to see a lot of that type of stuff. We've got, let's go over the arcane spells. We've got Blade Ward. Blade Ward is when defending against a primary weapon, you may add a dodge result. Kind of cool. That's an action. We also have Witch Bolt. Arcane Spell. Disable this upgrade. It's an attack. Spend your target token to make a 2-dice attack against one creature at range 1 to 2 in your forward arc. This penetrates armor. If you inflict at least 1 damage against the creature, you may place 2 timers on this, and it gets a continuous effect below. The affected creature sustains 1 normal damage that penetrates armor at the start of the end phase. This attack has no effect against lightning creatures. So we're getting some kind of specific attack stuff going on. We have Cold Breath. I believe we've seen Cold Breath before. It's a cone attack. Range 3, grounded air in your forward arc. It penetrates armor, and 3 timer on it. The primary weapon value is its cost, plus 5 for non-cold dragons. Vicious. Just during the combat phase, you may discard this upgrade to target 1 creature that was just damaged by one of your primary weapons. You may disable 1 upgrade of your choice that is equipped by the damaged creature. It must be a white dragon to equip. We have seen similar items in the Bahamut and all those campaign artifacts from the OP event, very similar. There's one card that's very similar to that. We've got Frozen. During the combat phase, you may target 1 creature that was just damaged by your Cold Breath. That creature receives a continuous effect below. The affected creature cannot choose a maneuver with a number greater than 1. I think we've seen this already. It's got 2 timer on it. That one is 3 points. We have 3 points, the Brooch of Shielding. It's a campaign artifact. You roll +2 defense dice against spell attacks. You are immune to magic missile. Pretty key, because I keep on getting my ass kicked by magic missiles, so that might help. Cool. 3 points. It seems to be really cheap and helpful. Then we've got Evil Sorcerer, cost of 4. Dragon Rider. Add 1 additional slot for your spells, your divine spells. Upgrade to your creatures. Divine. Or Arcane Spell, sorry. Upgrade to your creature's upgrade banner. You may place 3 timers on this upgrade to perform the action on one of your Arcane Spell upgrades as a free action. Must be an evil dragon with a large base to equip. You cannot equip another Dragon Rider upgrade. So they're doing these kind of cool things where you can add different riders to the different dragons, and the white dragon falls under that as far as an evil dragon. So, cool figure. If you already have the white dragon from the OP, there's definitely enough here to differentiate it, so you got to kind of dig that addition and the ability to do some different things with the figures out there. Of course, it gives some new upgrades for dragon figures, which is nice, and we'll change things up considering the movement. Everything's it's slightly different. So, though the figure might be the same, what you get with the figure is very, very different. As always, this is Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and you can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, all at Graphic Policy. Keep it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep on rolling those die and keep it geeky.